good people? Back in the saddle. This is gonna be a good one. As always, really, but I got too much going on. Let me see. I put it right there. That should be. Yeah. Now, my girl left eye came through today. Numerology stuff popped up. It was interesting because I get this thing where I do, Josh should try too, but you have to have some type of, you have to be in the numerology so you can know how to use it, navigate or whatever. But I'll give you a little something real quick. And pardon me if it's not verbatim. I wish I had my damn supreme mathematics. Like I said, man, a lot of stuff got lost in the sauce when I was to and fro. So I do, I'll just give y'all off the head joint, but one would be knowledge, foundation of all things in existence. The black man, knowledge is the foundation of all things in existence. Knowledge is the black man who is owner, maker, creator, and cream of the planet Earth. Wisdom is the black woman, wise words. Wisdom is wise words. As well as the wisdom is the is wise words of wisdom, as well as the manifestation of knowledge. The black woman. So knowledge will be, wisdom will be the manifestation of knowledge. So knowledge will be knowing something. Wisdom would be the manifestation of that knowledge or making that knowledge known. Then you got understanding, which is one of the same with knowledge. Understanding is the black child. Understanding is to see things clearly through the third eye, which is the mind, or which one can call it first eye. But knowledge and understanding are one and the same. Therefore, third eye, first eye. Because the first eye, because the pineal gland is where everything unfolded out of. Get a book called Kundalini Rising. Like I said, this is not verbatim, but it'll get you there. Culture freedom is for culture is the black man, black woman, black child who stays true to the original way of life, which is ourself, Lord Master. So you might say, well, why is it everybody has a culture, everybody lives culture, so why is it just black people? Well, black people are the originators, the origin of all. That's why when we say we are the gods of the universe, gods and goddesses of the universe, because even if you take it outside of the context of a nation called an earth, a nation of Islam, when you think of God, you think of God, everything came from God. Well, let's take it to race. We are the origin of all races. Every race you see came from black people, so we are the gods of the universe, gods and goddesses of the universe, the gods and earth, however you want to put it. So culture, the world went off track when the original culture that we put down was taken from us and did away with when these intruders or these irredeemably wicked people started running the planet or whatever. So it's culture freedom. The freedom is the freedom. Free your mind, the rest will follow. Freedom is also being free to live one's culture, which we haven't necessarily been free to do based off of these pseudo or artificial laws created by people who didn't have not only the black people's best interest in mind, but the world in general outside of whatever little circles they run in or whatever. 5 is power. Power is the truth, which is the light, which brings your mind up through the triple stages of darkness. Power 5 is power refinement, which bringing your mind up through the triple stages of darkness is what leads to refinement. That's how you refine yourself. refinement is to be purified. When you bring the light up through the triple stages of darkness, what does fire and light is the one? Fire and light are one and the same. Light is a higher degree of fire, or ether, or whatever you want to call it. So when you bring that light up through the triple stages of darkness, or you bring that Kundalini energy up straight up pineal gland, you purify yourself, or you bring yourself up to a certain degree, however far you can. We'll get into that in a minute. But anyway, power refinement. 6 is equality. Equality is to be equal in all things in existence, which is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Equality is also akin to the black woman or whatnot. But that's a whole nother story. I could get a little deeper with that, but I'm trying to hurry up and do this because I got a lot to cover. But maybe one day I'll get a little deeper with that one. Because I have my own build on that, or my own add-on to that. But 7 is God. God is the original black man from Asia. God is the original black man from Asia. The owner, maker, the cream of the planet Earth, same thing. You know what I'm saying? 8 is to build or destroy. You build on the positive and destroy the negative, or to be a little bit more. What I would say accurate is working with the positive and the negative, but working with the positive and the negative in commission of creating a harmonious balance. Soot, Horus, all that whatever. Horus, Soot, the lead with the right. But anyway, Horus, Soot. But anyway, then 9 is to be born. Born is to be brought to the glorious light of Allah, of the all in all. The all in all, when we say Allah, we're not speaking from the perspective of what Orthodox Islam is speaking of, because even within their thing, they're missing the woman, which is Allah. They don't tell you that Allah has a counterpart, which is Allah. Allah would be the wisdom of the earth. Remember I told you when you put it's A-L-L-A-T. When you put the T on it, that makes it feminine. So what would be Allah? Allah would be the light. Allah would be the earth, or the physicality, or the physical manifestation of that light, which the spiritual manifestation makes itself known through the vehicle, the earth. You see the physical earth, but it's earth with its light within the earth, or whatever. It's light within the moon. The moon, the light you get from the moon, just like we say the wisdom or the woman is a reflection of a man. She's the moon. The moon reflects the light of the sun. Now you said that the moon doesn't have no light of its own, but everything has some type of light to it. That's my add-on. So that's my add. Within the nation of God and earth, somebody will drop some wisdom on you and tell you to add on. That would be my add-on to that. Everything has a form of light. Even when the moon is being created, the vapors that rose from out of the melanin had particles of light within them. So when they froze and created the moon, it was those particles of light that rose up when everything was going through the triple stages of darkness was in the light. It's just the light it's not bright enough to shine on its own. The light was in it, so it has to, in order for it to shine down and give us the light we need to navigate through the darkness, it has to have aid from this light, from this reflecting off the sun, whatever. Now, born is to be brought to the glorious light. Then you have to, now, there's another one of my add-ons. After that, you would think it's 10, but within the nation of God and earth is cipher, which is the circle. But actually, it should be 10. This is what I'm looking at off my studies outside of the nation of God and earth. It's supposed to be 10, because you're supposed to add if you have the 9, then you add the 1 of the oneness of it all, which will make it 10. Cipher is a completion. It's complete. So you just say it's cipher, and you're saying it's complete. That's actually non-cipher, because that's actually non-cipher, because the circle or the cipher is the yoni, or the vaginal, or vagina of the woman. The one within it, you got not the one would be the phallus or the penis. The circle would be the yoni. Well, oh, here you go. Shout out to my Aunt Johnny. mark this just in case I need it. But I'm gonna show you. Called show and prove, right? Okay. The one, Neo, right? Neo. Zeros and ones. 1, the 0. But this not the completion is when this goes up, this comes back, the sun comes back down, this goes up and it shoots through its orbit. The completion of the process is the Earth, feminine, the cipher, or the spear. You know, we got the moon comes off the top, but it's still an invisible force field over it or whatnot. But the one is that ray of light that shoots straight through here, that little wormhole, it goes up. The one that's the cipher. But when I roll those dice, now when you roll them, don't think in terms of craps. Now you can't say, now you roll a 7, you want to look at that, and it's more than just, it's deeper than just those 10 degrees I just gave you. But that's why you gotta get deep into the numerology thing. But you can't look at 7 at a lucky number or whatnot. So you roll a 7, you can use that to amplify yourself and say, oh, today's gonna be a good day or whatnot. But don't just leave it at that, you know. But here is a rough picture of my boys. You have my boys, peace to the gods, Father Law, looking all Candyman-ish, Shaka Tony Todd, and Old Man Justice. And we can't forget W.D. Fard Muhammad, who brought the information to the wilderness of North America, taught Elijah Muhammad, who brought the information to the, who in turn taught Father Law, and should I do that breakdown? I think I'll go ahead and do it. But in turn taught Father Law. So in this case, W.D. Fard would be the knowledge. Elijah Muhammad would be the wisdom, and Father Law would be the understanding. So when you hear me say Father Law, I'm not speaking of, you know, in the terms of Orthodox Islam. This is this form of Islam. Orthodox Islam, the Quran and all it has knowledge and wisdom and understanding. So don't get me wrong, but you have to know how to decode it. See, just like the Bible, it's not like I say. They and to add on to that, they have a masculinity superiority complex, a male chauvinist thing with that. That's why you don't hear about it a lot. But if you put ALAT in your search, it should come up. But all you ever heard was a law. They're not dealing with the other half. So and it's interesting because look, W.D. Fard was mulatto, right? So this is gold, black, but you can look at the light as white too or whatever, but however you want to look at it. This is in the center, right? So this would be like to start the knowledge. When this goes up, this would be the wisdom, right? You said the wisdom is the moon, right? So this would be the wisdom. So then you got the, or you can look at this as the knowledge. Yeah, this is the knowledge, then this becomes the wisdom. So, you know, and it's just my breakdown of it. The origin, then it goes to Elijah Muhammad, the wisdom, and then the finishing of that process is all this going up, creating the moon, the wisdom, and then the understanding would be Father Law, the sun, the spiritual sun coming back down, boom, and then it's going up, through the 7 chakras, the 7 suns, the earth blowing off the earth coming up, boom, to this is here, to the third point, 1, 2, 3. This part gets right here. The bottom of the earth will be right here, then it blow off. That's called the blowing of the barge. The wisdom on the moon blows off the top. This wisdom is the cap of Patal. Or even you can say the cap that these are the keys on the back of the Catholic papa the Pope be wearing. The white cap is the cap he be having over his head. And when this goes off, but it comes from Patal though. I seen that when I went to the King Tut exhibit. I seen one of the statues from Kemet where he was prostrate, just like the earth prostrates forward. Leans its eastern axis towards the sun in the morning. Patal he's prostrate with a tablet in his hand. This is the tablets. Or if you want to look at the bird's eye view, these will be the tablets. Tahuti, the tablets of Tahuti, emerald tablets and all that. And then when the earth blows off to the sun, in this picture, the sun should be a little bit smaller because it looks like it's bigger than the earth, but it's really supposed to be smaller because it came out of the earth like the baby, or like a baby, and then it goes to its orbit, which is the third orbit. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and it stops right there. So I thought that was interesting because you can look at white people to one degree or another as whether you like them or not, they are they come from us, therefore making them children of us. So the planet is being imagine leaving your kids. Letting your kids, your 6 and 7-year-olds or 8-year-olds or whatever, run the house. You can only imagine what happened. That's why everything, when you look at the world, it's like, man, this world is so crazy and fucked up. It's because these people have been drunk driving. And you have partook of the liquor. You have to sober up and take the wheel back. Not running in the fucking White House like some goddamn maniacs did. But that shit was whenever they did that shit. No, take the wheel back by taking your own mind back. Can't be drunk, call an Uber until you sober up. You have to take the minds of the people back. Fuck what them people doing. You see that madness going on with the quote-unquote world powers. Fuck all that. This shit is about a harmonious interaction amongst us, the people, the regular people. So, so when you look at white people, they're like moon children. Their skin is I'm not saying they can't go out to the sun. We're not trying to make it like we don't want to get too crazy with the vampire shit. Obviously, white people can go outside and partake of the sun, but they can't take as much of it as we can without having a negative effect on their skin or whatever due to the sunburn and all that. But they're more children of the moon because it's a softer form of light. But us, on the other hand, we can partake of both. But even some niggas can't take the sun and shit. You got that'd be the crazy part. You got niggas that go out there, and they do be hot in the motherfucker, don't get me wrong. But you got some niggas that just act like they anti-sun. Oh, I can't go, it's too hot. And you got white people like to sunbathe, and they trying to get as much as they can get. So this is a crazy mixed up world. So I just thought that was interesting to know. That's why I'm glad I've always been of the. Now don't get me wrong, I can't knock those that came before me who have the fuck white people because they come from a time that was closer to when or within the times when white dealing with lynching, Martin Luther King shot down with water hoses and beat up and woo woo. You know, by me coming after the Martin Luther King thing in my generation and all that, we were and to add on to that, everything is in a state of evolving. Therefore, that's why you don't have as many. Not saying they don't still exist, but you don't have as many white people that are on that racist mentality, because even they evolve to some degree, and part of evolving is evolving above that bullshit ass mentality. If you in the fucking house on some fucking party, let's say we in a party, right? It's 2,000 people in the party. Anybody in their right mind in that party is gonna want everybody to be in there partying harmoniously, so the party won't get fucked up. So whether you like the white folks here or not, that's not the fucking thing here. If they're still here or here, they're here for a reason or whatever. Nature takes its own course at times. It's not or whatever. But you would rather everybody getting along with this motherfucker than to be sitting in this bitch. We have to shut the party down and fight and cut and pull out bottles and hit each other and shit just to, when they don't have to be all that shit. That's just my take. You might be some nigga that want to go out. Look, even you niggas who still talking about we need to load the guns up and get ready for the race war. If you still thinking that dumb shit, you damn near, you almost like the racist white folks and shit. Because I'm finna get into it. I gotta get, that's a lot of shit. I'm probably gonna have to do by 2 today. But I'll say this much. So I can get into the spiel. Now I talked yesterday. I did the thing about the Jews or whatever and all that. Now I'm gonna pick back up on that and say this. This is not about when I speak this information. It is for who has ears, black, white, pink, orange, green. You might say, "What are you saying? There's this, that, and the third." Like, look. You white or whatever you is, take this information and take it as far as you can. Who knows where you'll end up? Despite what I say when we the melanated ones and or y'all have enough melanin or whatever, don't let it discourage you from getting to this information. Take it as far as you can. But what I will say is this. Don't take this shit and go to Charles Manson route. Don't take this shit and go against us. It's not, I'm telling you, you will get your ass whipped. And this is not me just saying it on a personal level, y'all, but it ain't just me saying this. This is spiritual shit. We are in the quickening. The spirits are not asleep no more. The deities are not asleep no more. The entities are not asleep no more. They're woke. So a lot of shit, all that shit they used to get away with, you would wonder what the fuck is going on? Where's God? When all this stuff happened, we was getting lynched. Well, motherfuckers was asleep. They're not asleep no more. Trust me on this shit. It sounds cool. If you can go to the movies and watch this sci-fi shit, take this shit from me. It is real. This is real shit I can tell you. Fucking with us ain't gonna get you nowhere, but look. And the reason I brought up Charles Manson is this is a sick bastard. Man, him and Jeffrey Dahmer, sick bastards. Show you something. Now, obviously, Charles Manson was into some type of science or whatever, right? He studied Scientology and all that shit. So he was not a dummy. That's not. I don't know too much about Jeffrey Dahmer. What I will say about these two, they are a reflection or two microcosms of what the people who have been in control of our lives or seemingly in control of our lives, they are microcosms of that. You got Jeffrey Dahmer over here eating motherfuckers, and you got the Charles Manson motherfucker. He going around the motherfucker. For one, this nigga actually thought he was going to be the messiah of black people. That's one crazy motherfucker. I heard that shit. I just had to, I had to laugh. Real shit. At least, this is what they said about him. Two, He was killing people. And I pieced my nigga Pac and the Black Panthers. He was killing people and trying to make it look like the Black Panthers did it. I took issue with that. Another violation he fucked up with is he was making people think he was some type of messianic figure, like he was Jesus or some shit. But he was playing both sides of the fence because he sent some motherfuckers based off what I saw. Like I said, I got a lot of shit to cover, so I can't even get into the details of this shit right now. But based off the shit I saw, this nigga's one of the motherfuckers he sent to go kill somebody. About them groups and shit, you have to be careful. That group shit, you have to be careful with that type of shit. If we in an age that's the information there. You see what I do, I give you the information. If our path just happen to cross, they cross however they cross, but I'm not trying to control your everyday life and you need to come over here and rub my feet and shit and all this old stupid shit and all the, I give you the information and let you do what you want to do with it or go out. I point reference points and teach and shit, but that nigga's the perfect example of why groups can be dangerous. Not saying every little group. Now, study groups is doing a different thing. You got a couple people you get together with every week or something. Y'all have a little study group where y'all trade information and shit. When they go y'all own way, that's one thing. But once the motherfuckers start trying to manipulate you and all this shit, and I have to say this because this nigga, he was quoted as referring to himself as Jesus. I'm saying quoted because I didn't see it come out of his own mouth, but I believe this shit. He tried to say, well, they made up fairy tales about, no. The government is known to embellish and shit. But they were right about that guy. He's fucked up. If he wasn't a part of the motherfuckers, that's another story. Plus, he made the hippie movement was really white people coming closer to living culture freedom or the culture of the black man. Peace. They started doing, and drugs played a part of it. The drugs was unlocking something, doing something to make these motherfuckers wake up and break away from that bullshit. Because they was about what? Free love and peace, love and equality and all that. You know what I'm saying? That was a form of white people evolving to another degree. But they used him. That's why I would say he's so fucking agent, because they used him, they put him in the hippie movement or attached him, gave him the long, they call him the long hairs and shit, and even that's some spiritual shit. The Charles Manson shit happened this morning. I don't know what the fuck I was reading last night, but it's some spiritual shit that pertains to real spiritual shit, where it's some shit called the long hairs, but it's spiritual though. It's not no fucking, but it's all kind of goes together because the fucking hippies was, that's one of the things they call them the long hairs. But they had to bust the hippie movement up because the hippie movement was white folks get too close to niggas. The fucking government, the way you want to call it, they couldn't have that. It's like, no. They're about the business of dividing and conquering. And I got something else for that too, but I ain't got no time right now. So maybe the next one, for some personal shit. I don't get too particular because I don't want to, but we'll get to that shit, because I'm disheartened. You'll see why. But, so they had to use him to attach him to the hippie movement. So now when the hippies, the people that were just really cool and chilling with black people and shit, trying to be one and harmonious, they had to make them look bad based off of that. So they put Charles Manson, used him as some type of partial face of the hippie movement. So after they catch him and fuck him up, whether he worked for him or not, that made the hippie movement look bad, which go back to some of the group shit. You be in a group get infiltrated, and they have some wild motherfucker do some shit to make the whole group look bad, or make the group look like they into some shit that they not into. Now the whole group look fucked up. So you a good nigga, but then some nigga over here do some wild shit. Now everybody who's a part of that group, he was part of those damn whatever's. Don't fuck with him. So same thing with the hippie movement. So after him, he fucked the hippie movement up. So now people that hippies went from looking like were being perceived as what they was about peace, love, and equality, and all that. to, oh, that's them Charles Manson niggas, or them Charles Manson white people. Watch them. And I can see how the shit can work when you look at the motherfuckers who as well as Charles Manson himself, as well as his followers, some kooky looking motherfuckers. I asked motherfuckers that would knock on my door talking about, can we borrow some sugar? Wait right here. And I said, dope. Don't ever knock on my fucking door, kid. But what do I do? You just look like a kooky motherfucker. You're not right. And all white folks don't look like this. But these motherfuckers, I'm not taking a chance. Some sugar, you're going to know not to come knock on this door again. You knock on this door again, you're going to need more than sugar. Trust me, son. You're going to need more than sugar. You're going to need medical attention. That's how kooky these motherfuckers look. And the fact that they was going to jail laughing, something wasn't right about that. So, yeah, man, that was what I had to do, because that's a false messiah. You hear the phrase false messiah, you want to go and find out what a false messiah is, look at that motherfucker. He's a sick bastard. But anyway, so I just want to say that much, man. The Camites, the difference between medical today, the medical industry today, and the way we used to take care of shit on a medicinal level or a health level is, we used to be able to do magic and all kind of shit to heal people without having to cut and get all bloody and shit, right? So you have to look at that as the world today. And we trying to heal the world, the stupid way that would be to go out and get all bloody and fight, cutting up open, killing and shooting. That would be the equivalent of the medical industry today, because they don't have a true understanding of medicine. There's ways of doing shit without having a surgery and all that shit was extreme. That was like the last result type shit. So, and I say double down on that to say that was one of the things that Charles Manson, was looking forward to, who was not your friend. He was looking forward to old race war, just like that. That's why I say you have to be careful with that, the divide and conquer shit. So yeah, man, I'm just trying to make it easier for motherfuckers to whatever the degree I can to live around this motherfucker without having to walk around this bitch looking like, looking at each other all crazy and shit. So like I say, man, take this shit as far as you can, man, in a righteous manner. The more righteous motherfuckers, the more people that are dedicated to peace, love, freedom, justice, equality, and harmony, the better off this place will be, despite the fucking color and all that shit. So yeah. Now, that's the best way I can explain that. Because it's not about me coming to, just shit on white people and shit or whatever. That's why I try to make distinguishing statements. I try to be distinctive with my when I distinguish to some type of degree when I was speaking of these things. So now, to get back on these people's role, I want to show you something. I'm going to share something with y'all. Peter in the Bible, right? But I rolled a dice and I rolled a 3, 1, and a 2. Today's the 12th. I was wondering what it was going to be. So when I said yesterday, when I start singing the song tomorrow, after I done it, I was just singing the song because it went with the breakdown I was giving. Yeah, later on the night, so I wonder what's going to happen tomorrow. And I had a revelation, just like I said, but I'll get into that later. But maybe tomorrow. But no pun intended. But now let's go back to culture. these people have a knack for. Let's go back to the whole pedophile thing. Now, remember I told you these people have been taking words that originally referred to righteous things or divine things, and all right. So anyway, I'm talking about the pre-puberty sex thing. Now, pre-puberty sex or having sex with a child or individual before they have gone through their period state, that is a violation of natural law, or would be, or whatever. But what has happened is, this word, first and foremost, the word, hold on, give me 1 second. Okay. So, but what these people have did is, due to a lack of culture, first and foremost, they took away our rites of passages that would properly initiate somebody who has gone into puberty. They took away the rites of passage that would properly initiate them into the act of having sex, which is the problem with America, because this is America. There's other places where they're probably doing that, and as long as you are of age, which is past puberty, there's not no law against quote unquote older women and men they or having sex with kids or because they still children. That's why even with that, it's not just I'm seeing if you run out. Okay, well, it's a natural law. We can do no. It's like it's a thing. It's a whole process. We don't even have the process. That's why. That's another result of the drunk driving of these people. We're in a quagmire because although I'm telling you this, I wouldn't, even me, I can go out right now, that could be the finest 16-year-old I ever seen. Oh, I want to have sex with you. No. For one, based off the programming that they did not really put us under, despite knowing all this, and all the headache that come with it, and because even people that are hearing this and really, because the shit makes all the sense in the world if you go sound mind. A motherfucker will still look at you crazy. And it ain't just because of that. It's that plus a thing of half these grown-ups don't even know how to have sex responsibly or have sex and not let it drive them to mad crazy shit and madness and shit. You see what's going on. So even if that girl was because obviously she would probably be already having sex anyway, but even that who would say this girl would be even emotionally mature enough to deal with what comes with sex, because things come with sex. And personally, if I deal with all that, I am able to go out and get a woman my age or legal or whatever, or what is considered legal or whatever. So why even go through the headache of all that shit? You know what I'm saying? It's not that serious. Plus, if you was just, people like, well, we just need to change the law. Well, they need to find some kind of way. For one, as individuals, I can't tell you what to do with your kids. That's your personal business or whatever. But if you're hearing this, you should be involved or have some type of be some type of chaperone. And to not saying you have to be in there with them and but you should be, once they go through puberty, you'd rather, the best thing I can tell you to do is talk with them about having sex, because that's when the hormones start rising up for real. And you'd rather be involved or have some type of input or have as much guidance as they will allow you to have, or because you're the parent. And that's another thing too. Motherfucker be 16 with, so you're like, well, no, your parents should be involved in that. Into the initiation aspect of it, or whatever. That's the best. That's all I can, like I say, because these damn laws and shit that we live by is putting us in a quagmire. But what's really putting us in a quagmire is the fact that we don't know this and we don't have some type of the same process that we used to have. The young man making or the young woman making ceremony that we used to have, which is why even when you go through puberty, you start having sex, however long it takes you to get into that, which it shouldn't, because really when you let the energy build up, it can manifest in perverted ways. That's why we have so much sexual perversion in the world. Nobody's trying to figure these things out though. We have a thing of just shit happening, lock people up, beat them over the head, publicly humiliate them. Nobody's trying to figure out, well, where is this shit coming from? Why are we doing this? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why is it happening like this? Well, I'm telling you why. You can take it or leave it. Personally, I don't want your goddamn daughters. Definitely don't want your little boys. I don't swing that way. But I don't want your little girls, your 16, your 17-year-olds and shit, whatever. You know, but in our original culture, we was living culture freedom. The elders would initiate the young ones, or how they done it, show them the way, and that was the thing or whatever. And after that, they was free to, that person who was initiated into the sexual aspects of life was freed up. That's why you hear old stories about kings and shit who had 16 and 17-year-old daughters and shit, because that was they had a process. Now, what would you want to have, a process that like that, or everybody just going for self around this motherfucker? And I'm not saying shit has to change more, because even that, you gotta look at shit like this. If you take a glass and you put it in the freezer, right? You know it's sitting there for like 2 days, and you take it out, and you take some boiling hot water and pour it into the glass. That glass is gonna instantly shatter, because that the switch of temperatures is too fast. So to go from one extreme to the next that fast, that it'll cause that glass to shatter. Same shit here. Give you an example. You change the shit more, you have niggas lined up at the fucking, it'll fuck shit up. You have niggas lined up at the goddamn high schools and shit, trying to find some young girl to take advantage of. Because we are fucked up people. It's not like, that's what I'm saying, it's not like, we not even, it's a quagmire. It's, you see how kooky this shit is? We are not of the righteous mind that we used to be when we was doing this shit. So today that would be manifested as some niggas trying to take some fucking girls and probably put them on a stroll or some shit, or before they even graduate high school, or take advantage of them, because niggas is sick and fucked up. Like, y'all niggas doing it now. Y'all niggas doing it now when it's against the law. So it's just, see how these people fuck shit up? You see what the quagmire they put us in? Even me personally, because it's like me having to come in and tell you this. I have to put emphasis on I don't want your daughter. Because I don't, you know how motherfuckers, oh, he's just saying that. No, I don't, it's not that serious. I can go out there and give him 4 or 5 legal ones, and without the headache of a motherfucker looking at me saying, he's nasty, and all this old shit. So, but, just to get that out the way. But the word, they took the word pedophile. That word does not mean that. It does, even the word itself. Look, Philadelphia. You got Philadelphia. See how that sounds? And they say pedophilia, Philadelphia. You can scramble up the word Philadelphia and get pedophilia. Pedophilia is, in Egypt, you have what you call the island of Philae. If you take the L and turn it into an R, it'll be the island of fire, or fear. The island of fire. Look up Philae, Phile. Philadelphia is one of the 7 churches, in the Bible, it's one of the 7 churches of 7 chakras, or the 7 churches of the 7 chakras, but the Philadelphia, then you got Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, but I'm going to show you the word. Philadelphia. Show you what it means. Delphi or Delphia. Delphi, you used to have the Oracle of Delphi. That would be where the Delphi. That was back in the time when you would go to the Oracle and she would sit on a tripod. Where is it? So the island, let me tell you this. The island of fire would be this. This is the island, right? When this comes down, this comes boom. This will create the fire. The island and the fire. The tripod is like this, and then that, and that, or the three. Oh shit! But so the Delphi was a oracle, or would be like what a priest is today, so to speak. You would go there and get like a reading or something to figure out who you were. They would read your Akashic records. Peace to baby girl. But you would go there and they'd read your Akashic records or something, or they had some where the woman would sit over, it'd be a hole in the earth, and the woman would sit on a tripod under it, and some fumes would come up from under the earth, and she would be drugs, so many words, but would intoxicate her and send her into an ecstatic state. But in this ecstatic state, she would give divine revelations. This is real shit. You can see this on movies today and shit, but they got it from real shit. So that's the Delphi, and then you got the Philae, the island of fire, or the fire, the Phila, Philae. See if I can find something. I'll probably do it in the next one. The Philae, fire, but you do have what you call the island of Philae. So the Delphi, when you go to Kemet, the Delphi would be in Philae. So you would go to the island of Philae to see the Delphi. That's one thing. Now check this out. Let's go to Peter in the Bible. Peter, and this is another, I'll get real jiggy with this one. But I'm going to get back to that Philae thing too. I got to go back to that. But then this. Peter is, when they talk about Peter in the Bible, that's why I say it's good to have that metaphysical Bible dictionary. Peter, you got Peter, Patal. So Peter, so they trying to fuck films. You see how they try to do a reverse psychology thing on you. These words in themselves will invoke certain divinity within you, but if they can trick your mind into by redefining them and misapplying them to unjust acts, then it'll keep you. Their hopes is that it will keep you from dealing with that word and keep that word from, because words are power. In the beginning was the word. So to keep you from invoking the inner Ptah, so to speak, they'll put that in the word as well as the Philae. Peter in the fire was Peter on the fire. Peter, Peter, petrify. Look. What I said when they said, let's go through the process. So I get to know shit. When this comes up, all this light comes up with it. You have the seven spirits in the center. All this goes to the sides of the flanks. The bird's eye view of this is, where is that? Is this, when the light comes up and flood this, it'll leave that looking like, look, the light comes up. When the light is coming up, there's melanin that's at the top coming to the center. The light and the melanin meet in the middle. The melanin comes and it goes into the flanks. At the bottom, With this, it's the center, same way your body is created in the womb. So you got melanin coming out here to create the bowels of the earth, or the flanks of the earth, or to create the bowl of the earth, or whatever, bowels. And then you would have the center points, which would be little melanin clusters, the gel, top held. Man, I'm telling you, this shit is, look, yesterday, top held. Tophiel, the angel Tophiel, and about this nigga is deep. But you create a little melanin clusters, boom. So while these 7 light lamps are being set up right here, you have 7 clusters of melanin, the figs coming down, and then when all this goes up, and all the water that evaporates up the precipitation coming from all of the melanin, that's why it's good to stay hydrated, because melanin and water go together. But when this is rising, water is rising, when you got the 7 lamps set up like this, all this is a mist. The 7 lamps will be covered in a mist. That's the water. When all this goes up, that water follows, but it stops right here at the 6 and freezes and creates an ice dome, or the moon. That petrifies, as well as everything down here petrifies or gets hard or whatnot. That's Petard. Petard that carves out the waterways, which the water that makes it down here. This water precipitates from the melanin. The water that makes it down here with the melanin that comes down, it sweats out of the melanin and creates the spring water, which fills up those holes that are caused by Petard. The hoeing, the tunnels are set, all this shit is carved out, whatever. So, but it petrifies. That's the meditating Buddha. When you meditate, when they say peace be still, it petrifies or becomes still, or hard, or still. The little flecks of light that the melanin catches when it's coming down from the light that was going up, it's the footprints of Buddha. You see them little flecks. Try to get it in there, but you see little flecks that I put on there. There we go. The gold that you do see on there is the little flecks, like those are the footprints of Buddha. So that's Petard, subconscious mind, all that. Peter File, the file. When I told you Mad Max, when he took the mask off, that's the opening, the middle mask. When they did the opening of the ceremony, opening of the mouth ceremony in Kimi, they used what you call a bimetal. Kind of look like this, like a little. When you look at the sign of it, I had to find. I got that in one of these books, but it kind of look like this though. But it's like a little. Comes up like this, and it's like a kind of like how the Kundalini energy comes up, and it's like that. It's to open the mouth. But to open the mouth, to speak the proper words, you have to go back. That's what I'm saying. A lot of shit we're doing now is wrong. The right shit, you have to go back in time or back in the mind. That's why he was filing. He was using a file to take off the mask was connected in the back. He had to use the file to carve to break it down so he can take it off and open up the mouth and speak the real shit that's been crammed up in the back of the Akashic record or the back of the mind. The file, take the L, turn it into R. Fire, what's the fire? The light, the information that is within encapsulated. And I got some shit. Look, me and Aaliyah, I'm gonna save that one though. Me and her was that same night. I was listening to Stomp. I had another biblical revelation via a conversation with Aaliyah, but I'm gonna hold that one. But that's the fire, the divine fire, the light, the fire, the petrify, the pit up, the Peter in the fire, Peter in the fire, Peter, the subconscious mind, in the fire, the divine light. They have took this and perverted the shit. What you think of, what they've made it into is wrong. The act of which the motherfucker that's up echelon, when you come, when you get to moving the curtain from all this shit, this is the shit they into. So they make that laws that, but they overextending them because on one hand, yeah, it is wrong. You don't supposed to be fucking with no kids and no babies and shit like that or whatever. But the problem eats on itself because a lot of them people that do that is based on the fact they had no sexual rearing. So they just, that, if you don't have nobody to train you into the act of having sex and you keeping this shit bottled up, it is prone to come out in a perverse manner and you'll be touching somebody, the uncle touching the daughter, uncle touching the niece and all this old, sometimes the father and all this old madness, which shit they're into in the upper echelon. So they don't really give a fuck. Anyway, I'm gonna say that for Prince. He came through with that too. These people that have things to say, you think I'm just talking, this nigga just talking, he crazy, seeing ghosts and shit. No. These motherfuckers are testifying, bro. I'm gonna show, when I get back into that Prince joint, and I'm gonna show you what he said. I was sitting in the car when he came through. The shit came through in the car when I came in the house. The shit he said was on the TV as soon as I walked in the fucking house. No job. This is real shit, bro. So that's the... Okay, you think, you just talk, okay. Bush in your fucking head. Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. Let's get it, niggas. Watch this shit. Watch the shit. Now listen to this shit. We finna show you who this Peter is. But he's just talking. No, I got the fucking scholarship. We don't gotta guess about it and mind you, I've been telling you shit about the Peter, the petrification and all that shit before I even read Peter up, looked Peter up in his book. But now I'm gonna show you. These wheels been bamboozled. I'm not saying you run out there and start hunting down fucking teenagers and shit. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just trying to show you the ultimate message that I'm trying to give you and say is we don't have no fucking proper way of initiating our youth into that sex. And we wait too long. We think there's some shit you're supposed to wait till you're 18 and you're married, but you ain't doing nothing but keeping some shit bottled up that's prone to just, if you keep too much shit, the pressure builds up, the shit comes out all crazy. We don't have a controlled flow. And that's why we all fucked up with not even just underage sex and shit, not knowing how to have sex without busting the windows out of the motherfucking house and shit, and killing each other and fighting and, oh, that's my bitch, or that's my nigga, fuck, I'm gonna fuck your girl today, and yeah, I fucked her yesterday, and all this whole goofball shit. It's getting ridiculous, man. But this, mine, Peter, this the definition. Peter. Hard. Peter, Greek definition. Hard, compact, strong, firm, unyielding, a large stone. I don't have to lie, get the fucking book. This is fucked up around here. We should be mad. No, not mad. I got my boy Monk. I was watching Monk yesterday. Mad is, let me get this out the way. Large stone. This is the rock. The earth is the large stone. The earth stone. The stone. Large, rock hard. Pause. Dig these blues. But I was watching Monk yesterday. One of my favorite shows and shit. That nigga used to call me Monk in jail. Because right out of jail, I really, when you're in the world, you just, but when you get in jail, you start seeing niggas with balls and shit, and you start getting a little bit, I'm not OCD, do they call that shit ODC, or OCD, whatever the fuck it is, compulsive, whatever you call it, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Now, I'm not necessarily that, to the point of Monk. You know, you ever see Monk don't fuck around. Monk don't touch shit, pull out napkins. I kind of be like that with him shit too. You around with them, they don't watch the ends and shit. Touching on everything. And that's how you're in jail. Motherfucker be doing that, jacking off and all kinds of shit. You know what? That motherfucker, I was, yeah, careful. I don't like fucking, what they call them shit, balls and staph infection and all that shit. You see a lot of that shit, and that's the wrong place to be trying to be fucked up and looking for medical attention. But, so, I was kind of, I touch it, I make sure I wash my hands, which is a good thing too, because I carry it into the world. Because, we growing up, wow, we just wild motherfuckers. We line up walking the goddamn Burger King, open the door, order our food, don't wash our hands, pick the burger up, eat it. Whole wild motherfucker that grabbed that dope before you could have been digging in his butt or whatever. I don't think of these shit just growing up if nobody breathe you into it. Now, you know, that's a general thing. You're supposed to wash your hands before you eat. You know, we some wild ghetto child and shit. And, yeah, man. That was a story, but yeah. But my partner, he used to call me Mom, which was crazy. Because of that. But I was watching Mom. And I already said that I didn't get this from the show. I made this analogy on my own, but the show bear witness to it. But mad is angry. Mad is irrational behavior based off of anger. It's the difference between mad and angry. Anger is cool. Mad is crazy. When you say mad, I'm mad, you don't want to get mad. Everybody gets angry. You don't want your anger to drive you to madness. Anger is being upset or whatever, or having a temperament or whatever. But when you become mad, that's when you black out and do some shit, and you wake up in jail or some shit, or you wake up fucked up, and you know what happened. You went mad. Sometimes you might be in a fight with a motherfucker. You might have to go mad to win this shit. Just spaz. I wake up. What happened? Well, you beat that motherfucker down. That's good. No, that's good. You supposed to do that. That's wild fight type stuff. You know, I'm talking about just living. Madness will drive you to do crazy shit. There's a difference between mad and anger. Anger, everybody gets angry, but you're supposed to channel your anger with a filter so you can not do something that's going to cause you to fuck yourself up. But the lady said that monk yesterday, she was like, anger is cool, because he went to see a therapist. Some shit happened, and she was like, but it should not be the driver of the bus. Anger should be a backseat driver at best. It should be in the back of the bus. It should not drive the car. She is absolutely fucking right. Because when you moving out from motion, and that's the back of this here driving the bus. You're supposed to lead before with this, the he will whatever. When you let anger, angel, now angels are not bad. Angel, the word is what you're supposed to be. A light gel is melanin. You're supposed to have both. But the jet, man, but when you going off of this and you don't have both, you're gonna make irrational decisions and shit. You say this should be a backseat driver. You keep that shit in the back, but you move forward with rationale. Anger is, so she was right. Anger is a terrible driver. So, but let me get back to the Peter thing. A large stone, a rock, a cliff. Simon Peter, son of Jonas, a disciple of Jesus Christ. Matthew 16:18, Mark 3:16. That's references to the Bible verses that Peter is in. What it says? Let's go to the metaphysical definition on time. This will be all right. The spiritual faculty of faith. The disciple's name Simon signifying his receptivity and ability to discern the truth was changed by Jesus to Peter or Cephas, which is, or they say the disciple's name Simon. Okay, so Simon means hearing, signifying his receptivity. Hearing, you have to receive, listen, to receive. Sometimes you got to shut the back of the mind. To shut the front of the mind down is the receptive mind. Receive the information and listen to what a motherfucker is saying, as opposed to when they talking, using this to form your rebuttal without even considering what's being said to you. This represents faith in God, strong, unwavering, and enduring. This is the faith. This faith is necessarily a foundation, the unshakable faith. That's why I say, like with the Joseph thing, because one of the, I got to get back on that. Peter's self. Oh, this is so much. Oh, I gotta hurry up and come back. I've been fucking around. I'm gonna come back and upload this and come right back. I'm gonna have to do it this time. I've been bullshitting, but because there's a lot of shit right here. But I'll finish this out there. But it says, but like I say, when I'm talking about soot, originates and all that, there's some things you're supposed to stand firm on, and there's some things you have to be like water, as Bruce Lee would say. You have to have a discernment, though, to do that. But it says, this faith is a necessary foundation for building up a spiritual consciousness for the Church of Christ and the individual. Peter, faith was one of the first disciples that Jesus called. Faith is one of the first spiritual faculties to be called into expression by everyone who would follow Jesus in the overcoming life. The leading characteristic of Peter before he's firmly established in his spiritual consciousness is changeableness. See how they got the both in there? The firmness and then the be like water, which is the changeableness, the wisdom, swift and changeable. He typifies that state of unsteadiness which fluctuates from the high spiritual to the material, yet an ever recurring desire for spirit and for the things of spirit, which is bound to lead to the light. See that? He's saying you don't have to fluctuate and that's how you're supposed to be. Too spiritual, you're gonna disregard your physical duties. You're too physical, you're gonna disregard your spiritual duties. Why you're supposed to be like water and fluctuate between the two, and know when to stand firm on shit and when to say, you know what, I can let that go because I found a new truth now, or I can take a little bit from this, but leave some of that there, so on. So, Peter, the wavering, denying one, is in the reality of faith a rock. When faith works through the intellect, it is subject to all the winds and waves of sense of thought. But when it lays hold of life and substance, the gates of Hades shall not prevail against it. Hades, gates of hell. Simon hearing represents the spiritual receptivity of the mind. Peter, stone rock, represents the ability of the mind to lay hold and establish ideas and consciousness. Simon hearing, receptivity. When this goes up, the lightning bolt strikes that part of the moon, the sun comes back through, and the Peter receives the light. You did. But let me get this, upload this, and I will be back. Y'all digest that for a minute. Peace.